Hi, it's Sue Greenwald here with the Awakened Stories. I'm here today with Deanna Carr with the Mystical Moonlight. Hey, Deanna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. So today's surprise topic, because she doesn't know what we're talking about as usual, it's just kind of fun to spring this stuff on
Yeah.
her, is I want to talk about Anastasia, okay, the famous story that everyone's always talking about, the Tsar Nicholas murder story of July 1918. So basically, what we're told the story is that Tsar Nicholas, there was a coup, they were all killed, his family was killed, and I think they were thrown into a well, but they never found the body of Anastasia, which I believe was the youngest daughter. And so that was in July 1918. So was that a true story?
Yes, it was. She was never found.
Okay. She was never found. But okay, so I have the questions. Was the Russian family, okay, the royal family at that time that we're talking about, were they black?
Yes, they were.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So most of our history depicts everything whitewashed.
Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
why don't we know this? So the point I want to get across with this, in 100 years or less, actually way less, they've changed our knowledge of history.
Mhm.
Like, why? I know
Because
why,
yeah,
but oh
because
my, yeah,
yeah,
wow.
it,
Okay. So the Russian royals were black, and King Smarty had posted a photo of them on his Telegram channel a couple months ago. I did ask him the same question. He said that's who they were, and I was quite shocked. My
yeah,
mind was blown at that time.
yeah.
Just a double check on him from time to time. I'm joking, but so basically they did kill him and his family and take over
Mhm.
their power, their riches, their power, their control, and
Mhm.
everything. Okay. Um, my other question is, was Anastasia left alive, or did they just not find her body?
So, she is still alive.
Alive
She,
even now.
mhm. So, like I've seen the videos, I've seen, stuff like off the fantasy of like what happened to her.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thought that she would portal out. She actually had abilities.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Like myself, one of them, because that's not what I expected to hear.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
able to portal out. That's why nobody found her.
Okay.
Mhm.
So where did she portal to? Don't give away anything confidential, of course.
Yeah. Um, she went to a different planet. So I know you're like, well, how did she have these powers? Um, Certain people do have this type of ability. Now, we don't have it too much today because most of us are really blocked off, and that happens over time. But one part of it was being the fear. Um, when you're in a fearful state, you tend to, activate a little bit in different ways. Um, but she was able to teleport to a different place that was like Earth, so she was safe. And they did take her in. She is actually, happy and healthy.
She's still living there.
Yeah.
She's never popped back in to see how things are.
Nope.
Is she
She doesn't
watching
want
Earth
to.
reality TV and like, I'm never going back there again?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
She has her own mission. Part of it was, you know, I don't know if it was like a ploy, but they wanted it to be, this crazy thing that happens to his family. They wanted it to be something that people recognize throughout history. And, to her it was very traumatic.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
why would she come back and run the risk of what if I go back? What if they find out? Because, you know, she didn't really understand what was going on at the time, but she did have these abilities and she was able to get herself safe.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So on this other planet, do they age at the same speed that we do or no?
No, they actually slow down the speed of their aging.
Okay.
And it's different reasons. One of the biggest reason is the air pollution. So we have a lot of air pollution
Yeah.
where they do not.
Right. Okay. And you know, again, probably with her ability, she has longevity built in.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, is my guess. Wow. Anything else about her specifically we need to know?
Um, no, I mean, there's a lot of trauma that she went through, but she was able to, work through it, and she is, doing her purpose, like she's, working with what she needs to and doing her purpose for where she's at.
Okay. Okay. So in the stories and the movie, the Tsar,
Mhm.
who I think was generally a good guy, I mean, who knows, but
Mhm.
the Tsar had an advisor called Rasputin. Okay, so in
Yeah.
the movies and you know, the stories, he's an evil wizard, he's out for the power, you know,
Mhm.
he's like, and he might have even been betrayer. I don't actually remember that, but here's my story. About a year and a half, I'm bebopping around the house and I get a hit that Rasputin is still alive. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what? And like, why do I need to know it is really my question. Like, okay. And so what I was getting is he is alive and he is an ET. Okay.
Mhm.
So what would you say to that?
Yeah, he's definitely still alive.
Okay. Boom. All right.
Yeah.
And
And he would be an ET. I don't know what species he is. He's, not our normal ET, but he does have powers also. That's where, they do talk about sorcery. They've shown it in multiple,
right.
depictions.
Yeah.
He was able to. Now, there is multiple reasons he was going against them, but there was a power that he was searching for.
Like an occult or supernatural power or ability.
Hmm.
All right. So would you say he's a good guy or a bad guy, I guess is the way to say it.
He would be considered a bad guy.
A bad guy. Wow.
He he went through phases, let's say that. There were points where, he was doing stuff for a good reason, although it might have come off as being bad. But he he would be classified as bad for, the stuff that he has done.
Oh, okay, because I was always thinking, well, the movies and the stories, they always have to put the blame on somebody that they were
Yeah.
maligning him. But
I
I
mean,
did,
there were people that were, push. It wasn't just him. It wasn't just his ideas,
right.
but he did have a partake in what went down. So I guess it depends on what you classify as good as bad.
Well, you know what I'm
So,
talking. All right,
yeah.
so basically, the family was killed. Everybody, you know, was basically a regular human, a black human, not white like we're told. They were dumped into
Mhm.
the well. She portaled out. She's living happily ever after. And he's an ET. I'm getting that he's still alive here on Earth. And now all right, well, we can say where if you get it, but I was getting Europe, that he's in Europe somewhere.
He doesn't stay long in places.
Okay. All right. Well, we should.
It would be over in that area, but he doesn't stay long in places for specific reasons.
Okay.
And one of them being it's harder to hide himself
All right.
over the years because he doesn't age like us.
Yeah. It's interesting. There are humans with these natural abilities that can change their appearance. They don't age. I mean, they're human, but they have these abilities and they're out there and some of them do become famous and we are going to find out a couple of them pretty soon. It's going to be pretty
Yeah.
exciting, but interesting that they're more common than we would think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anything else we need to know about this story? Like, I just thought we'd do a little quick video because it's an interesting story. In over 100 years, we're still talking about it and
Hmm.
wondering about it. And like I said, I got that hit a couple years ago, but what I'm finding is that the history part of it has been so radically changed. It just doesn't seem right, but we need to
Yeah.
know the truth, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, they like to change it on us.
Yeah. Anything else you wanna talk about this particular story?
I think that's it for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Nothing else is coming up to mind, but like I said, if people have questions or comments, put it below and then we'll get to it.
Yeah, they just did a few years ago, the movie Kingsman, the third installment.
Hmm.
And they did actually show Rasputin as a really badass guy. Like he fought the good guys and he was in the movie, but he's usually portrayed as evil, an evil sorcerer guy. So I just find that
Yeah,
so interesting. All right.
yeah,
So, well, thank you. And if there's any questions about this, put them in our comment section and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you so much, Dee. I really appreciate your info.
of course.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.